So let me ask you, does anyone recognize the man in this picture? Have a guess? Edison. Look, it's an old white guy in black and white holding a light bulb. Who else is it going to be? Yes, very good. It is Thomas Edison. And the thing that is remarkable about this picture is that, of course, Edison is known throughout the world as, the man who made the light bulb. And anywhere you go in the world today, if you ask a child to draw a picture of someone having a brilliant idea, they will draw the same picture, which is the face, and then a light bulb on top. But the light bulb, you may know, was not invented by Edison. The light bulb was invented 60 years before Edison. I'll pause there. For the light bulb to be invented 60 years before Edison, what does that tell us? It tells us that the light bulb, this greatest innovation ever, was a failure for 60 years. And so we look at what Edison did, and the theme for this talk is that what Edison did, he didn't just make a better light bulb. That was a part of his effort. The bigger thing was that when he looked at the light bulb, the question that he was trying to answer was not how do I make a great innovation greater. This is our theme. It's the difference between great innovations that succeed and great innovations that fail. They're all great innovations. So the light bulb for 60 years was a great innovation, but it failed because no one took seriously the question that is the only question we're going to look at today, which is the question of what else. Looking at the light bulb, what else needs to happen for it to actually matter? And so the thing that really set Edison apart from other people doing light bulbs was that he looked at the light bulb and saw all the other stuff. He saw the need to generate electricity, to bring electricity into the house. Arguably, one of his greatest innovations was the power meter, figuring out how do you charge for electricity that allowed for utilities to exist in the way we think about it. And so this is going to be our theme, is this question of what else. And this is kind of the core theme in this book that I'm thrilled that everyone has, The Wide Lens. And the title for the conference, The Wider Lens. And the notion of a wide lens is to say we've been taught, we're so used to thinking about doing a really great job. You've got a task, do a great job. It's all about execution. And in the world of business, what we would teach is if you want to succeed with an effort at creating new value, you need to do three things. You need to first have a great idea that your customers care about. Two, you need to have a team that can actually deliver on that promise. And then three, you need to do it better than anyone else. You need to have an advantage. And historically, that's what firms would focus on. And when they were successful, it's because they did this. But if we step back, what we realize, execution, great execution, is always necessary for success. But more and more, we find innovations, efforts at doing new things, that depend on more than just what that one focal actor is doing. And that's where we need to widen our lens, where we need to add two new concepts for thinking about the work to be done. And they're tied to the idea of an ecosystem, that we're no longer in it together, we need to work with others. Of course, we know all that. But the question is, how do you think about working with others productively? And so the two concepts that I want to explore with you are this idea of, one, co-innovation. Someone innovates, you're going to innovate. And the first question I'm going to ask is, does anyone else need to innovate for your innovation to matter? Does anyone else need to create something new? Oh, I've got a great drug. Well, someone needs to come up with a new diagnostic so that the drug actually matters in the world. That's co-innovation. And the second principle is going to be the principle of your adoption chain, which is who else needs to buy in? They don't have to invent, but who else needs to participate in order for you to deliver your value proposition to that end consumer, whether that end consumer is a doctor, is a nurse, what have you, right? Who is essentially, we're going to ask the question of who are the critical adopters who are not on the critical path, that are off but still totally matter, right? So, if we can't get medical schools to teach certain things, it doesn't really matter that that knowledge is available if it's not being shared.